Did you know that Pontius Pilate's life, the man who gave the go-ahead for Jesus' crucifixion, ended in a shroud of mystery and tragedy? Imagine carrying the weight of history's most debated verdict and living with its silent repercussions. Pilate, Judea's Roman governor, is a figure shrouded in historical and religious texts. But what became of him after that pivotal day? This tale weaves together biblical, historical, and traditional narratives. Pilate's indecision and eventual consent to Jesus' crucifixion are chronicled in the New Testament's 4 Gospels. His interactions with Jesus and the Jewish leaders' influence are captured in Matthew 27, Mark 15, Luke 23, and John 18 and 19. Additional historical context is provided by Jewish historian Flavius Josephus and Roman philosopher Philo of Alexandria, offering a richer understanding of Pilate's intricate character and his part in the crucifixion. To grasp his full story, one must delve into the sacred texts and the intricate political and social fabric of his era. Stay tuned to uncover the fascinating and unsettling saga of the Roman governor who sealed Jesus' destiny. Pontius Pilate, the Roman governor of Judea, faced a quandary. The Jewish high priests clamored for Jesus' crucifixion, branding him a blasphemer. Yet, Pilate saw no fault in Jesus. John chapter 18, verse 38. He endeavored to free Jesus, even proposing the Passover tradition of releasing a prisoner, but the masses chose Barabbas over Jesus. Matthew chapter 27, verse 15. Despite his reservations, Pilate caved to public demand, symbolically washing his hands as a sign of disclaiming responsibility for Jesus' death. Matthew chapter 27, verse 24. An act that would resonate through history as a symbol of cowardice and injustice. Moreover, the scriptures underscore Pilate's attempts to placate the crowd, including Jesus' scourging, hoping a lesser penalty would satisfy the Jewish leaders. Luke chapter 23, verse 16. This moment not only sealed Jesus' fate, but also signaled the start of Pilate's downfall, whose decisions would be scrutinized for ages. Pilate knew the political volatility of Jerusalem, especially during Passover, and Jesus' presence, deemed a prophet by many, only intensified the scrutiny. The religious leaders accused him of inciting rebellion against Rome, Luke chapter 23, verse 2, a grave accusation that could warrant execution under Roman law. Pilate was trapped. If he freed Jesus, he risked Jewish insurrection. If he condemned him, he'd sanction the death of an innocent man. To prevent an uprising, Pilate reluctantly complied with their demands, unaware that this choice would haunt him for life. The Bible doesn't reveal Pilate's inner turmoil, but his actions reflect a man grappling with justice and order. History suggests this decision weighed heavily on him. In such volatile provinces as Judea, maintaining control required a fine balance, and any sign of weakness could be exploited by Rome's adversaries. Thus, Pilate faced a complex dilemma where any verdict could spark significant political and social fallout. Amidst this, Pilate's wife, Claudia Procula, experienced a troubling dream. She urged Pilate to spare that righteous man. Matthew chapter 27, verse 19. This dream, mentioned solely in Matthew's Gospel, remains enigmatic, with some suggesting it was a divine attempt to avert Jesus' execution. Claudia, though briefly mentioned in the Bible, underscores Pilate's moral conflict. Her dream, believed to be a divine caution, posed a warning Pilate would regret ignoring. Christianity later venerated Claudia Procula, reflecting her perceived significance in the Passion narrative. Some view her as the conscience's voice, intervening in moral crises. Her ominous dream adds a mystical layer to the trial, hinting at greater forces at play. Under Pilate's orders, Jesus was crucified, labeled Jesus of Nazareth, King of the Jews, John chapter 19, verse 19. This trilingual inscription was Pilate's way of validating the charge against Jesus, claiming kingship, a treasonous act against Caesar. As Jesus endured, Pilate battled his doubts and guilt. The crucifixion, a pivotal gospel event, is vividly depicted. including bystanders' reactions and accompanying supernatural occurrences like midday darkness and the temple veil tearing, Matthew chapter 27, verse 45. These signs added to Pilate's conscience as he witnessed events hinting at Jesus' divine innocence. The Bible suggests the crucifixion transcended a mere earthly event, marking a cosmic clash between good and evil. Historically, crucifixion was a punishment for the gravest offenders, a public display of humiliation and pain. Pilate's choice to proceed, despite misgivings, illustrates the immense pressure and the intricate political and societal context he was in. Post-crucifixion, Pilate was consumed by his decision. He felt manipulated by the crowd and religious leaders, and this gnawed at his soul. Jesus' words, "Father, forgive them, for they do not know what they do," Luke 23, echoed in his mind, exacerbating his guilt. While the Bible doesn't detail Pilate's ensuing emotions, the psychological toll of his choice is a plausible inference, given its magnitude. Christian tradition posits that Pilate never recovered from his role in Jesus' demise, a weight that profoundly impacted his later life. Apocryphal texts and traditions, like the Ethiopian Orthodox churches, delve into Pilate's remorse, depicting a man shattered by guilt. His symbolic hand-washing failed to ease his conscience, and he was perpetually haunted by that decisive day. The Ethiopian Orthodox view even suggests Pilate embraced Christianity, acknowledging his guilt and seeking redemption, though this is speculative and not widely accepted. The guards at Jesus' tomb reported his resurrection, Matthew chapter 28, verse 4, sparking turmoil among the Jewish leaders and Pilate. He attempted to conceal the truth, bribing the guards to spread falsehoods, Matthew chapter 28, verse 12, but the news of Jesus' resurrection spread rapidly, intensifying Pilate's anguish. At the heart of Christianity, the resurrection stands as a pivotal affirmation, echoed through the Gospels and New Testament epistles, notably in 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verse 3. For Pilate, this event posed a legitimacy crisis. If Jesus had indeed risen, it would not only substantiate his divine claims, but also signify Pilate's condemnation of an innocent. Pilate's efforts to obscure the resurrection mirror his battle to uphold order and his grasp on reality amidst the inexplicable and a challenge to Roman rule. The resurrection's aftermath saw Christianity's reach extend, converting Jews and Gentiles alike, amplifying its impact and the weight of Pilate's verdict. The attempts to stifle this truth underscored the ongoing clash between Rome's temporal might and Christianity's nascent spiritual influence. Emperor Tiberius received mixed reports from Judea, placing Pilate in a delicate spot, already marred by his harsh rule and disregard for Jewish customs. Historians like Flavius Josephus and Philo of Alexandria depict Pilate as a harsh governor whose actions frequently incited Jewish ire. His infamous decision to fund an aqueduct with temple monies sparked intense Jewish backlash. His governance further deteriorated when summoned to Rome to explain his conduct, leading to his dismissal after a violent incident on Mount Gerizim. Pilate's recall by Lucius Vitellius, the Syrian governor, and the subsequent inquiry in Rome marked the end of his political journey. His government's political upheaval had far-reaching effects on him and the region he oversaw. This turbulence and Pilate's downfall illustrate the complexities of Roman provincial administration, where the enforcement of Roman authority often collided with local customs and independence aspirations. In Rome, Pilate faced a stern inquisition. Tiberius, incensed by the unrest Pilate had incited in Judea, saw Pilate's political adversaries capitalize on the moment. Stripped of his position and exiled, Pilate's wife, Claudia, was haunted by nightmares, while Pilate, racked with guilt, withdrew from public life. Although tradition suggests no formal trial, Pilate was compelled to retire. Apocryphal texts, like the Acts of Pilate, offer varied post-crucifixion accounts of his life, often tinged with regret and penance. Pilate's demise remains enigmatic, with differing traditions proposing various fates. History portrays a man whose choices profoundly influenced his legacy. The Roman probe likely centered on his failure to maintain peace and his administrative shortcomings, reflecting the intricate interplay of power and politics within the Roman Empire. Pilate, once powerful, ended his days in disgrace and isolation, a stark contrast for someone who sought to secure his status through injustice. Pontius Pilate's end is veiled in mystery. Some historical narratives suggest he took his own life, overwhelmed by his deeds and the ignominy of his banishment. Eusebius of Caesarea, a 4th century church historian, notes Pilate's suicide during Caligula's reign. Other sources, like Tacitus, remain vague about his fate. Christian traditions offer various endings, some hinting at his conversion to Christianity before his death. Medieval and Renaissance literature, such as the Golden Legend, recount Pilate's suicide in Gaulish exile, his body cast into a river. His passing is viewed as a tragic consequence for a pivotal figure in Jesus' crucifixion. The blend of history, tradition, and conjecture surrounding his death underscores the complexity of his persona in collective memory. Over centuries, Pilate's tale has been a medium to examine themes of guilt, redemption, and justice. His suicide, if factual, represents ultimate despair and remorse, while conversion narratives suggest a quest for absolution. These varied accounts emphasize the challenge of discerning fact from fiction when considering historical figures tied to significant religious and moral events. Pilate has emerged as a dark legend in Christian lore, often depicted as a vacillating figure lacking the fortitude to uphold justice. His life and demise serve as a stark reminder of our choices' enduring impact and the repercussions of succumbing to external pressures. In the Gospels, Pilate is shown as a ruler who, despite recognizing Jesus' innocence, yielded to the masses. While vilified in Christian tradition, some apocryphal writings paint a more empathetic portrait. Pilate's indecision and ultimate ruling have spurred endless theological and historical debates, underscoring the moral and ethical complexities of his role in the crucifixion. This dark legend of Pilate cautions against the perils of capitulating to external forces at the cost of justice and truth. He is often likened to other historical figures who grappled with similar ethical quandaries, his narrative serving to underscore the value of bravery and integrity. During Holy Week, Christian traditions recall Pilate as a cautionary tale of how cowardice and injustice can lead to catastrophic results. His tragic narrative also prompts profound theological contemplation. Standing before the Son of God, he failed to acknowledge the truth. His justice lapse exemplifies human fallibility, challenging us to ponder our choices and the valor to embrace truth. Theologians have long debated Pilate's part in Christ's passion, often employing his character to illustrate the tension between justice and expediency. His symbolic hand-washing is viewed as an emblem of a troubled conscience evading accountability. In sermons, Pilate's story underscores the necessity for moral courage and integrity, reminding us that when faced with tough decisions, we must act honorably, even at personal cost. Christian theology regards Pilate as a symbol of the good versus evil struggle, his failure to recognize and act upon Jesus' truth serving as a caution against moral indifference. Moreover, Pilate's narrative invites introspection, urging us to scrutinize our hearts and strive to live by justice and truth principles. Pilate has been a focal point in art and literature, his internal conflict and role in Jesus' death explored by creatives across centuries. From medieval sacred art to contemporary literature, Pilate's portrayal varies, mirroring shifts in societal perceptions. In works like José Saramago's The Gospel According to Jesus Christ and Mikhail Bulgakov's The Master and Margarita, Pilate emerges as a multifaceted character caught between duty and conscience. In visual arts, he is often depicted at Jesus' sentencing, his visage oscillating between doubt and resignation. These cultural depictions underscore Pilate's lasting imprint on the collective psyche, highlighting his historical and theological import. Pontius Pilate often steps into the spotlight during the Via Crucis, serving as a mirror for us to examine power, justice, and humanity. His moral quandaries, brought to life on stage and screen, challenge us to ponder the weight of our choices. Pilate's multifaceted nature invites artists to delve into the universal struggles of wielding power, embracing responsibility, and seeking redemption. As Holy Week unfolds, Pilate's presence is felt in sermons and dramatic portrayals of Christ's passion. He stands as a stark reminder of how yielding to fear and injustice can lead to catastrophic results. The Nicene-Constantinopolitan Creed echoes his name, marking Jesus' suffering under his watch, a nod to Pilate's pivotal role in the narrative of salvation. Pilate's tale is a teaching tool, a cautionary note on the perils of injustice and the absence of moral bravery. During Easter, his memory prompts us to consider the ripple effects of our actions and the relentless pursuit of justice and truth. In Christian thought, Pilate is synonymous with unfair judgment, his story a lesson in the value of righteousness. In prayer, Pilate symbolizes our human frailties and the divine grace needed to surmount our moral challenges. His life and death offer profound insights into the essence of responsibility and integrity. Faced with a momentous choice, Pilate took the path of least resistance, a decision that echoes through time, reminding us that our choices shape not only our destiny, but also that of others. Pilate's legacy is woven into the fabric of education and morality, underscoring the importance of acting with justice and valor. His indecision and capitulation to external forces are cautionary tales of how moral weakness can lead to ruinous outcomes. His story resonates across various aspects of life, from the political arena to personal choices, urging us to adhere to truth and justice. In discussions on ethics and leadership, Pilate's example highlights the necessity of integrity, especially in positions of authority. His failures serve as a warning against complacency and the temptation to follow the path of least resistance at the cost of moral rectitude. Today, Pilate's narrative holds significant relevance. In an era rife with uncertainty and conflict, making just and courageous choices is more crucial than ever. His tragedy underscores the imperative for truth to triumph over pressure and adversity. In contemporary dialogues on leadership and ethics, Pilate's story is a stark reminder of the challenges of maintaining moral uprightness amid political and societal pressures. His enduring relevance is a testament to the timeless nature of the moral conundrums he faced, urging us to seek justice and righteousness in our own lives. Pilate's portrayal in popular culture, through films, plays, and literature, continues to captivate and offer fresh perspectives on his role in history. His character, depicted in various shades from a callous antagonist to a victim of circumstance, fuels our fascination with this pivotal historical figure. His memory persists in Christian traditions and collective consciousness, a symbol of humanity's potential and vulnerability. Pilate is remembered not just for his actions, but also for his inaction, the missed opportunity to champion truth and justice. His inclusion in the Creed and Passion narratives ensures his central place in Christian remembrance, his story a tool for teaching morality and accountability. Pilate's memory stands as a beacon, challenging those in power to make just decisions. In many traditions, he represents the consequences of succumbing to fear and cowardice. His story compels us to reflect on the nature of judgment and responsibility, his actions and the ensuing condemnation of Jesus serving as a historical touchstone and an ethical case study. The narrative of Pontius Pilate leaves an indelible mark on the Christian faith, prompting us to contemplate our societal roles and the weight of our decisions. His tragic tale continues to inspire and caution us, with Christian theology employing his story to explore themes of sin, redemption, and justice. Pilate's enduring impact is a testament to the significance of his deeds and the lessons they impart. Thank you for watching today's story. If you found inspiration in this video, please consider subscribing and clicking the bell icon to stay updated with our latest content. Your support means the world to us and helps spread the message of faith and hope. Join our community by sharing your thoughts in the comments below and let us know which story you'd like to hear next. For more spiritual nourishment, check out our other videos linked on the screen. And remember, The journey through the Bible is a path to finding peace and wisdom in our lives. Stay blessed, and we'll see you in the next story.